Hello, yummy mummies. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Ife, your fellow your mom. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you've been here before, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. I just want us to just mind the way we say things or assume things, right? Mm, Okay, what I mean by this is that okay, you see someone and you're like, when will you get married? Like, what's your business? What's your business? Because we don't actually know the private battles people go through. You don't know what this person is currently facing. So I think it would just pay everyone to just be kind. You see someone and you're like, madam, when are you going to give us the next child now? When is the next child coming? He don't concern you. He don't concern you at all, right? So I remembered for when I was pregnant with my second child, people were chatting me, madam, your first speaking don't old now. When are you giving us the second one? And the way I am, if I'm pregnant, you won't know I'm pregnant until I'm towards the end of the second trimester, right? So that's when I was slim out. So and currently when another person I beg God, those things never enter my head yet. And currently at that time I was 5 months pregnant already with my second. So if I wasn't pregnant, I would just imagine how hot I would be. Sometimes you see somebody that get married like, when are you going to give birth now? Sometimes we even troll people online. Like, what gives you the audacity to just because the person is a content creator and an online figure, you feel you have the audacity to ask the person personal questions like, when are you going to give birth? It's not betraying all this whole love with your husband and everything. When are you going to give birth? You do not know the private battles people go through. Some people are going through miscarriages, and yet the next day, or even that day, they will set up camera and start smiling. Some people are facing silent battles. Sometimes it's the first might not even be from the husband, from the wife, might be from the husband, might not even be from anyone. You don't even know what people are going through. And then you're like, when are you going to do this one for us? When are you going to do that one for us? I just feel that we should mind the way we talk, mind what we say. Like for instance, last year when I came to this country last year, I started adding serious weight. Like see now, you can see. So I started adding serious weight. And I started getting comments like, not where anybody fit tell me you are pregnant. So the thing was just I was so shocked because it was not just one person saying it, it was not two people saying it. It was almost everyone, my family, my friends, everyone like, are you pregnant? And I'm like, you guys know me. If I'm pregnant, I'm not chubby. I think it's the change of environment and the sort of food I ate when I came here that I ate a lot of junk. To be honest, I did eat a lot of junk. Like so, I think so. It just contributed to me getting fat because even after giving birth to two kids, I was not this fat. Step was like and sometimes I will still be seeing my period and such messages just come in. And those messages actually got to me because you don't even know what someone is going through. So sometimes if my period is delayed, let me say even for a day or so, even a second, I will just go take out the pregnancy strip, check it. I had to go to the hospital. Any slightest change because I was like, what's wrong with me? Why am I getting this fat? It actually took me a while to understand that, oh, it was what I actually took when I newly came in that made me see me now. See, I now have a double chin. So yeah. Um those kind of things. And if you telling someone that is battling with something like PCOS or something and is adding weight due to stress, anxiety, or maybe even due to the PCOS, and you're like, you don't dey fat, see you now, and you're womb watching the person and all of that, the person might go back home and start thinking, get depressed and all of that. So please, I beg you, be kind with your words. And also do not assume just because you feel that, oh, I'm knowledgeable, that I assume. You might say, why you no come marry that brother now? Why didn't you marry this person? You were a perfect fit. You were not in that relationship. You did not know what was happening in that relationship. So you cannot assume that, they were a perfect fit. No. There was a time I left one particular guy and we actually we were together for a very, very long time. And it was like, One person, someone even met me and was like, he can't forgive me for leaving that good guy and everything. And I'm like, guy, you were not in that relationship. You did not know what I felt. This person, yes, this person is a very, very good guy. Like a very, 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 very good guy. Yeah. But we were not compatible. There were a lot of things that went through the relationship, and we actually talked to ourselves and like, oh no, this is not gonna work. So you don't know what someone is facing inside a relationship. You don't know what someone is facing inside a marriage. You don't like, this man's wife. I don't like what man's wife treat his person. If I'm the man's wife, you don't know. You don't know. Stop assuming that based on what you are seeing, you know. You do not know. Okay, another assumption case is this. I had this friend of mine in which they had been married for about 3 to 4 years without a child. And so I did not even consult them. So I just assumed that they were trying to conceive. Like, I use my sense, like, 3 to 4 years, waiting now, when I go, they look for picking. So, now, so, if on my morning prayer, I go to bombard God. God, please give them kids. God, please give them kids. God, please give them kids. My brother and sister. Hi. I received the shock of my life when this woman gave birth, I think in the 4th year of marriage and so. She confided in me and told me that before her and her husband got married, they had placed her on birth control and they planned to stay some years without kids. So when they wanted to have a kid, they took off the birth control and they got pregnant almost immediately. Omo, my Omo was Omoed. I was shocked. I was like, God, I'm sorry for disturbing you. These were people that deliberately planned not to have kids because of whatever plans they had for themselves. Over the years, I've met a lot of people that are like that. They will say, okay, we're not going to have kids for a year, for 2, for 3, for 4. Then we can have 1 or 2 kids and we're done. You see somebody like have one child, like, when are you going to have the second one? They might not plan to have a second child, and that's fine. And it's really none of your business. So you have to learn how to remove eye for waiting no concern you, yeah? Something that is none of your business, you have to actually face the business that pays you. It's none of your concern, it's none of your business. So just focus on what pays you. And if someone privately meets you, like, oh, I and my husband are looking for kids, we are trying to conceive, then by all means, yes. It's not time to now prove that, I too know. This one, have you done this one? Have you done that one? They might have done it. And you bringing all those things are not. A good thing to do is pray for them and give them advice if necessary. If it's not necessary, just shut up your mouth. Like, just keep quiet. Be kind. People are facing a whole lot of battles. You might see someone that like, say this one fat, say this one slim, say this one, and you don't know what your words are saying, the kind of depression it can give someone. Like, there was a picture I saw some days ago online, and this lady, she was posing and she had a lot of body hair, including a full beard and all of that. And people are like, she is so handsome, Mr. Woman, you know, that kind of demeaning comments. And you don't know the private battle this person is facing. This person obviously is going through hormonal issues like PCOS or something, and you don't know, and you just say things that just come out to you. You just say anything that comes to your head just because you are not facing this particular battle. You do not know. You are mocking a battle you have not faced. So you do not know what this person is going through. I'm just begging everyone to be kind with their words. As you go through the journey of life, you do not know what somebody is facing. You do not know what a lot of people are going through a lot, like a whole lot of things. And they might be hanging by a very tiny straw, and your words can actually cut that straw. Might be the last straw that breaks the camel back, and they will just like give up all hope. Some people have died have committed suicide due to the words that people told them, and they sit down and think about it because they have already been feeling those doubts, those things about themselves, and you just cemented that thing, and they're like, oh, it's true. You know what? It's time for me to just go. So just be careful. I'm begging you, be careful. And don't assume. Don't assume. Another case of assumption was when my first child, when he was 6 months, we were admitted to the hospital because he had an infection and it was really bad. He was stooling and he was vomiting, and I was scared shitless. You understand? Because this boy is just 6 months old and he's stooling, vomiting, so weak. So weak, severely dehydrated and all. So we admitted, definitely, obviously, we should be admitted. So we admitted. So during the second day of the admission, he was already, doing better. And he was teething. So I actually had to give him his teether to play with. Then the nurse came to me and was like, Madam, remove that thing from his hand. I'm a mother of 3. I'm telling you, it's this kind of things that gave him the infection. And I'm like, I felt really bad. Because this particular teether, I had sanitized it that morning with hot water and sterilizing. Oh, I have sterilized it. Yeah, I have sterilized it with hot water and sterilizing tablets, and it was clean, so to say. And I was making sure he was not touching any surfaces. He was just on his own, trying to use the teether to scratch his gum because teeth were budding out. And the way she shouted at me, the way she talked, and I just felt so bad. It's been how many years now, and I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, now I forget whenever born to pick you. So yes, please, I'm begging you, be kind with your words. I know sometimes you see some things and you're like, let me talk about this thing. Shut up. Just calm down. The Bible says, be slow to speak, be slow to anger, and be quick to listen. Be slow to speak. Think it. Think it. Think it. So that's what I just felt like talking to you about today. Be kind in your words. People are going through a lot of things in their journey in life, a lot of battles. Even you yourself, you are going through a lot of battles. And just imagine if somebody says something related to that battle. I know you'll not feel good. So you might just say something that seems harmless, so to speak. That harmless speech can be just the final nail on the coffin. That it might just cut that single thread of hope that person is hanging on to. So please, just speak gently. Speak kindly to people. You don't know what they're going through. Someone might have a child and has been trying desperately to have a second child, and is having a series of miscarriages. You don't know. And you're like, madam, when you go born on that pikin now? Just keep quiet. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know. You see somebody doing something like, why you not doing like this? You don't know what somebody's going through. So please be kind with your words. And it's not everything you see that you should talk about. You feel that, after a the technology era, so anything I see online, I can just type. This person might be reading this thing, and you might push this person to the brink of depression, to the brink of no return. So just be careful. Even the things you type, the things you say, you might think it must not mean that you should say it. Be slow to speak. Be slow to speak. That'll be all for today. Have a lovely day. Bye.